Here's some good news for the Cowboys, bad news for everybody else. Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence are going to be available today. What a thankful thing for the Cowboys defense. Lawrence, of course, playing through a stress fracture in his foot. He's got a screw in that foot already that he has dealt with in that injury. But to have them both in that defense, okay, look out. An NFC East battle that truly means something in this division. Feels really good. Giants, Cowboys. That's a feast on Thanksgiving. But it's been famine for the Cowboys recently. They haven't won on Thanksgiving since 2018. Will this Thanksgiving be different for the Cowboys? How do they make sure that plate of food is piping hot?
Yeah, I think it will. You just said they haven't won since 2018. They've lost 4 out of the last 5. They play all the time. It's 54 times they played on Thanksgiving. And as I watch this Cowboy team, they're going against the New York Giants. They're going through injuries and a lot of things for them as a team. But the Cowboys are rolling. They're coming off a huge game versus the Vikings where they put up 40 points. They held them to 3 and all of that we've talked about the entire week. Well, for me, the Cowboys are going to be back because they're going to be having fun out there. I want to see the Cowboys that we've seen of the past on Thanksgiving. I want to see guys put things in the kettle. You see right here, T.O. back in the day. He's giving too. Like, you come out of Walmart or one of these stores. Then Zeke says, you know what? I'm not dropping the football in. I'm going all the way in. Then he comes peeking out. And he says, you know what? I've had enough time. Dak, you get your butt in this kettle and you enjoy the moment. That is the Dallas Cowboys we want to see today. Guys jumping in that kettle. I don't know if we're obviously not going to see Odell Beckham doing a backflip into the kettle, but maybe we see Micah Parsons jumping in the kettle after a strip sack and he picks it up, or maybe he even does his own edition of a pick 6 like we saw LT do back in '82, and he's running down the sideline. So Cowboys, find that kettle, jump in, have a great time.
Yeah, the Cowboys have not been good on Thanksgiving in recent years. The Giants have been downright dreadful. The last 3 times the Giants played on Thanksgiving, they lost 30-3 in Dallas, they lost 26-6 in Denver, and they lost 20-13 in Washington. So the Giants aren't exactly some locomotive coming. In fact, the Giants haven't won on Thanksgiving in 40 years. 40 years. Which game was it? Can we bring up the same footage we saw earlier? Maurice Taylor having a pick 6 on Gary Danielson 40 years ago. Last time the Giants won on Thanksgiving. And I got to be honest, guys. Last week at this time, I was thinking maybe Giants, playoff sneaky team, you get in the wild card race. I don't know if the Giants make the playoffs after last week's game to Detroit. And now they come into Dallas, and it's like they've got players that are injured. You know how long ago this game was? I asked our intrepid researcher and producer, Rich Goldberg. Happy Thanksgiving, Rich. Always working hard to give me this. The starting quarterbacks were Scott Bruner and Eric Hipple. Eric Hipple gets replaced by Gary Danielson in the game. The #1 song was Truly by Lionel Richie. And the #1 movie was The Empire Strikes Back.
Hello, what happened here?
Hello.
Lando Calrissian, Peter.
We love our guy, Billy D. Williams. 445 will be on the ice today. The Giants don't have great recent history. The Giants are all injured. Cowboys, this is a beat-up Giants team with no history on Thanksgiving. Go take care of business.
How will this Thanksgiving be different for the Dallas Cowboys? Did you see them play the Vikings last week? There is no other option for it to be different than this day for the Thanksgiving for the Cowboys. Kevin O'Connell had to keep his eyeballs peeled and watch this footage again just to get the Vikings right. The Vikings played poorly, but the Cowboys play out of their minds. And frankly, if this is the new standard for the Dallas Cowboys, I'm on board with it because this is really fun football to watch. This defense has not allowed a first quarter touchdown all season long. That is slow start city for anyone that they are facing.
Slow start city.
Slow start city. Peter, how many times has Dak Prescott beat the Giants?
Oh, he's beaten in the last 9 times he's taken on, right?
That's the only time, 9 times he's taken on, 9 wins he has. So this is it. There is the only direction that the Cowboys can go against the Giants on this Thanksgiving is up, because I don't see them slowing down whatsoever, especially with those 2 defenders.
Cowboys in a walk? Is that what this is?
You know what would be really cool? And I'm not... If a giant jumped in the kettle. What if that happened? I don't think that that's happened on one of these games where the road player has done it. But, like, if Saquon jumped in
Who's got the personality to do it?
Yeah, and, like, he's like, this is my kettle. But I don't know.
How about Daniel Jones jumping into a kettle?
How about it? How about it? He's probably never even had a Kettle 1.
Yeah.
He's jumping in the
then he gets out of it and he pops out of the kettle and he just
damn. And then he just grins all the way to the sideline.
And be like, oh, so sorry,
in a kettle, gets out, everyone looking at him and he goes,
Bam! Happy Thanksgiving!
That's your turkey analogy right there.
That is really good. I don't know if it's happening, though. Oh, boom! Yeah! Look at that! That's the dabbing turkey. Let me take you into my world for a second. I know this will shock our audience to hear that I live in the suburbs. I just live amongst a bunch of Westchester bros, like a lot of Giants fans. And I was kind of echoing Peter yesterday. Peter's basically like, I'm putting words, does it feel like the Giants might just get annihilated in this game?
Come off.
And I floated out there, and the text chain is not pretty. The clip made it on there. They're out for me. They're out for you. I had one of my players. You guys know I coach flag football. One of my favorite players, Brian, is this great kid, sent me a video draped in Giant stuff, being like, I don't like what you said about my team, Coach Kyle. Brian, I don't love your team right now. Do you? They don't have our offense, Brian, and the 7, 8-year-old level. I'm worried about it, too. Injuries, Dak annihilating them, kettle in the air. The Cowboys have a vibe right now. Like Jamie's saying, like, this is different than a lot of Cowboys Thanksgiving teams that we've seen. Listen, I would love to say Daniel Jones is going to jump in the kettle. In fact, there's nothing I want more of this entire day or maybe this year. But the Cowboys are loaded, and the Giants feel like maybe the balloon might have burst last week.
Kyle, you are a gift. You can speak to 70-year-olds and 7-year-olds alike in one
Brian's
segment.
a great kid. Happy Thanksgiving, Brian.
Hey, it's time for Thursday Night Preview presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. We are just hours away from 3 star-studded Thanksgiving Day games. Here are the odds for today's games. The Lions have lost each of their last 5 Thursday games. Buffalo ranks top 10 in passing and rush yards per game, matched up against the Lions defense that ranks 28th in passing yards allowed per game and 31st in rush yards per game. Saquon Barkley has scored in 6 out of his last 10 games this season, and the Patriots have the second best defense in scoring points allowed per game, but the 20th ranked offense in scoring per game. Take a gander at that. Do with it what you wish, because DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And tonight only, new customers can bet $5 and win $150 in free bets if their team wins. Plus, special shout out to any Maryland viewers in our audience who can now bet with DraftKings Sportsbook. Just was legalized in Maryland. Congratulations. Download the app now and use code GMFB when you sign up. That's a thrill. You know what else is a thrill?
Tell me.
Coming up on Good Morning Football, Vikings, Giants. Are we buying or selling? There are some gentlemen who are going to join the show down on the streets of New York City for a Thanksgiving edition of